Good morning. So yesterday I went to On the Rocks like I said I would from 10 p.m. till 10:30. I gave everybody that window. I let Justin know all fucking week long that hey, I'm going to be here at 10 p.m. to 10:30. We'll finish this thing because hey, he threatened me at first, right? That was the initial thing. I'm going to beat the piss out of you. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to throw you around. All of that shit. And then I was like, let's plead together. He was like, I don't play special needs, man. And then, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Who does that? You know what I mean? Like I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt you. I don't play special needs, man. See you later. I mean, who does that? Who the fuck does that? Anyways, then we saw each other first time in person. I said, shake my hand or hit me. The guy bitched out. Then in between the first and second time we saw each other in person, he was telling me that he's going to rat me out to authorities and all that shit. Then we saw each other the second time in person. I told him to get in the ring because, hey, if I hit him, he would have fucking charged me. Then after the second time we saw each other in person, I heard he was talking shit about me. So I said, okay, fuck it. Let's finish this fucking trilogy. So the fact that he was talking shit about me is the reason why I said, hey, let's fucking meet up and finish this. And, you know, like I told him, I gave him like a week in advance. I fucking let him know where I was going to be and everything like that. So I went to On the Rocks and I waited at 10 p.m. till 10:30 yesterday. You know, like at first I went to the Legion and I saw a band play. You know, like one of my friends was a drummer in the band and I saw him play and it was really cool. It was really cool. They did a cover of what's that called there? They did a cover of Once Bitten, Twice Shy, and they did a really good cover of that. And when I was leaving, they were about to do a Steve Miller song, which really breaks my heart because I love Steve Miller, but it was already like 10 to 10, and I wanted to be at On the Rocks at 10 p.m. like I said I would, and I showed up like I said I would, and I waited there, and then at like 10 p.m., I sat at the bar. I just sat at the bar. I ended up burying the hatchet with a friend that Darian Chief told me that she fucked and all that stuff. Like she really like fucked with my head a lot. She told me that she slept with so many of my friends, and she was like, "Oh, yo, fucked, you know, him and whatever." And that friend and I, like, the reason I buried the hatchet with that friend and I so much was because before he actually saved my life, like I fell down a waterfall, and then in the middle of the waterfall, I snagged a rock, and then when I snagged the rock in the middle of the waterfall, I just waited at the rock, and then like he was one of the people that ended up reeling me in with like a tow rope in order to save my life. Otherwise, I would have went down the fucking waterfall, and a lot of fucked up shit would have happened that day. But you know, he was one of the guys who saved my life, and ultimately, you know, like that whole situation between him and I buried the hatchet with him yesterday because I was just there to fight Justin, right? So it's like I buried the hatchet with a different friend, and then I waited for Justin from 10 p.m. until 10:30, and you know that's basically what happened yesterday. We Justin and I, we saw each other, and right away when we saw each other, I gave him a roundhouse. He jumped back a little bit, and then he tried to like hit me a couple times. I bobbed and weaved, and then I did a little bicycle kick, and then like he tried to like hit me again, and then I did a backflip. No, I'm joking. Actually, Justin didn't show up yesterday, but it was nice to bury the hatchet with my other friend, but the fact that Justin didn't show up yesterday was kind of funny because his mom showed up. Like Justin's mom showed up instead of Justin, and like Justin was the one who threatened me initially, and then he was talking shit about me and all that shit after 2 times we met in person. You know, so it's like the fact that his mom showed up after I was dogging him all fucking week long and stuff like that. So it's like I won the Justin Osterback trilogy. You know, what I mean, I'm assuming that's the finale, but like sometimes people like him will hang on to grudges forever. Like I said, I waited there from 10 p.m. till 10:30. Like I told everybody, I went alone. Maybe I saw a couple friends there, but I didn't bring them. I didn't let them know I was going to go there to fight Justin. Like I let Justin know. I let everybody know I was going to fight Justin, and you know, Justin bitched out again. So it's like the fact that Justin bitched out again gives that, you know, 3 in a row for me against, you know, Justin and I. I'm 3-0 when it comes to Justin and I. And like everybody knows that I fucking asked him to get in the ring because he was going to charge me. He was going to fucking rat me out and all that shit because he already threatened to call authorities on me. So it's like everybody knows that's what happened. That's what happened. Like I fucking sat there from 10 p.m. till 10:30 waiting for Justin to show up, and he did not show up. But his mom came. His mother was at the bar, and after seeing his mother there, for some reason I generated some form of new respect. You know, like even though like clearly I bitched him out. You know what I mean? Clearly I won the feud between us because he threatened me and he never got to ever act on his threats and hurt me like he said he would. Like he said, yo, I'll beat the piss out of you. And he never beat the piss out of me. You know, so I was like, I definitely won that entire fucking thing since the beginning when I stood up for myself. But like the fact that his mom showed up, like, wow, like that's the truth. His mom showed up. Like it was crazy. Like I remember his mom from when I was a kid, and like, you know, his mom and dad are cool. I like his mom and dad, you know, but it was like, just the fact that, you know, his mom showed up instead of Justin. Wow, you know, like I definitely won that, and I'm not bragging here. I'm not bragging here, like, because what I see from this entire situation is that like you know, what I saw was that like a mother who cared for her son. You know, like that's what I saw from his mom showing up instead of him. Was that you know, his mom loves him, and you know that part I respect. You know, does that make sense? Like because it reminds me of how Barbara asked me for Drayton. It reminds me of how Roxanne asked me for Lovey. It reminds me of how Darian asked me for Cameron, and each Barbara, Roxanne, and Darian love the babies that I gave them so fucking much with all of their heart. And that's what, that reminded me of when I saw Justin's mom come to the bar instead of Justin, so it's like, there's a certain level of respect there just from seeing his mom. And that's reflected on having 3 baby mothers who love our babies with all of their hearts as well. So I know I can't really explain it, but we're at peace now. You know what I mean? Like, there was turmoil before because, like I heard he was talking shit about me, about like all the times that we met up in person, all the times he threatened me. I heard he was like, oh, I could have hurt him. I would have hurt him. I should have hurt him. And, yesterday was about putting the would have, could have, and should have's to end, right? And like, if today he's going, oh, I should have went, man. I should have went. I could have hurt him. I could have hurt him. It's like, dude, you had your fucking chance. I was there from 10 p.m. to 10:30. I came alone like a real fucking man. I fucking showed up and your mom came instead of you, Justin. So it's like, our hatchet should be buried now. Like it should be done with. Like he knows he shouldn't have threatened me. That was wrong of him to threaten me. And I'll admit one thing here. I was a dick about the way I stood up for myself, but how else am I supposed to do it? You know what I mean? If somebody is being a dick to you, how else am I supposed to stand up for myself? Am I supposed to not be a dick about it? Like, okay, I'll fight you, buddy. You know what I mean? Like, no, I was gonna be like, let's play together, motherfucker. You gotta be a dick about it sometimes when somebody threatens you, right? But like I'm not bragging here or anything like that. I do have bragging rights because his mom showed up, but I'm not bragging here. I'm just letting you, that's what happened. I waited from 10 p.m. till 10:30 at On the Rocks, and, instead of him showing up, his mother showed up. But hey, that's the end of the Justin Osterbeck situation. That's the finale, and that's what I get to write about in my book. And I'm sure, like, in my book, the names are going to be the exact names of the people, of what. But yeah, when it comes to writing my book about, my autobiography, basically about, my childhood, my teen years and my 20s and all that stuff, like when it comes to writing my book, and like even yesterday, right, like that goes in the book, right? Like when it comes to writing that autobiography, I'll use the real names and I'll risk getting sued, whatever. I don't care. Like I'll use the real names and like they'll know that it's the truth. Like Justin knows that it's the truth, that his mom showed up instead of him. Justin knows that I stood up to him like all those fucking times and that he said he was going to rat me out and stuff like that. Justin knows that shit. So it's like when I write the book, like his name will be in it, and like same shit with my baby mothers, like the baby mothers that do whatever to me, like the same fucking shit. Like they're going to get their names in my book that I write, my autobiography, and like all that, and like what they've done to me. And as long as it's truthful, they shouldn't have any fucking opinion about it. Like they should be like, okay, he's selling his book, but it's the truth at least. Like Darian, for example, should be like, when I write the book and like let everybody know that she framed me just because I caught her cheating, instead of being like a bitch about it when I release the book in 2023, she should just be like, oh well, that's the truth. That's what happened. I framed him. I cheated on him and he caught me. Oh well. That's what it should be like. You know what I mean? Instead of her being like, oh, I'm gonna throw him and stuff like that. But it's like, don't do shitty things to people in general. It's like how my book's moral is going to end up being overall. But anyways, like that was the Justin situation, man. I let everybody know where I was going to be, when I was going to be there. I have pictures of it. Here's the clock at 10 p.m. at On the Rocks. For some reason, the flash went a little bit crazy there. And then here's the clock at 10:30 at On the Rocks. I was there. I was there. I went alone as well. I saw a couple friends there. And like I said, I buried the hatchet with one friend because, hey, he saved my life. How much can I hate a guy who saved my life? As soon as I saw him again, I was like, this guy saved my life, man. And, like Darian told me that they fucked and all that stuff. She fucked with my head. And like, I asked him, I was like, did you fuck my girlfriend, dude? And he was like, no, why the fuck would I? So it's like, I believed him. And then after I believed him, I just buried the hatchet with that other friend. And, I don't deserve that trust and loyalty we had before in regards to our friendship. But like Darian told me that she fucked my friend. And then, after that, though, yesterday we buried the hatchet. You know what I mean? Like I was there to fight Justin. Justin didn't show up. That was not the friend that I buried the hatchet with, by the way. Like Justin didn't show up. But like the friend that I buried the hatchet with, though, like I apologize to, because Darian said some fucked up shit about him, and that made me think some fucked up shit about him, right? So it's like, and me, I'm a pretty vocal guy about it, so I apologize to that friend. But ultimately, the Justin finale, that the whole finale between us, it's over for now anyway, like as far as I can tell. I mean, next time I see him in person, if he tries to start shit, I'll always be like, hey man, you had your chance 3 fucking times in person. Which is the truth, by the way. Like he had his chance 3 times in person to act on his threats. And because I kind of have an idea the way guys think, the way guys are for the most part, typical people, like like, Justin told me he was trained, right? Like, oh, I'm trained. Like after I stood up to him, like, hey, let's fight, let's do this. After I stood up to him, he was like, oh, I'm trained. I'm trained. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm trained. All that shit. Like when people tell you that they're trained, it's usually a sign of them being scared, because most trained people kind of know not to be like, I'm trained. You know what I mean? Like most people kind of like hold that in before they tell you. So it's like the fact that he was telling me that he was trained was a whole thing that I was like, okay, I think I won against this guy already. I think I already got it in his head. And like, I won each time though. Every 3 times that we saw each other in person, I won. So it's like, but like the thing is, I don't entirely believe that it's over for him. Like the fact that his mom showed up yesterday, like that makes him look kind of like a bitch. No offense. Like I'm taking the peace road here. I'm at peace with him and all that stuff. But like the fact that his mom showed up instead of him makes him look like the bitch, right? So it's like the fact that Justin threatened to fucking call authorities on me in between our first and second time meeting, that makes him look like a bitch. The fact that Justin was like, oh, I'm trained. I don't fight special needs, dude. After he threatened me the first time and we saw each other the first time, makes him look like a bitch. And the fact that, each time that we saw each other in person, he never did a fucking thing to me to fucking hurt me. You know what I mean? Nothing hurt me. Like everything that happened between the first and third time that we were supposed to meet together in person and stuff like that, he never fucking hurt me. Not fucking once. First time, never hurt me. Second time, never hurt me. Told him to get in the ring because he was already threatening to call authorities. Third time, he didn't show up. His mother showed up. So it's like, I'm not trying to brag about it, but at the same time, I have bragging rights, which I'm trying to be at peace with. I'm trying to be like, okay, his mom showed up. His mom loves him. And, I respect that aspect that we're only human. It makes me realize like how human Justin is, even though he threatened me first and all that stuff. So I'm like, I'm really trying not to brag about it here, but like I know I'm going on and on about it, but that's the finale. That's what happened. I know I repeated myself a couple of times here, but that's what happened. That's what happened. Everybody that was on the rocks knows that I was on the rocks, and there was those pictures I just showed you to let you know that, hey, I was there from 10 p.m. till 10:30, and I stood up to my bully, and that's a chapter in my book. Standing up for yourself is going to be another popular theme in my book that I'm writing about my life and all the fucked up shit that I kind of went through, and all the times that I partied with so and so and all that stuff. The book is supposed to be like about standing up for yourself, and then like letting go of the shitty things that happened to you as a child and growing from them. Because like I'll be honest about like the stuff that happened when I was a kid. A lot of the stuff that happened I didn't get over until I was like a bit older. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people kind of grow up with people being like, oh, you're nothing, you'll never be nothing, and then like it's hard to grow out of that. And I finally grew out of that because I am somebody, I'm worth it, and I can evolve to become whoever I want to be, and I'm going to do the best I can. But anyway, that was the Justin situation. And anyways, I love you, Barbara. I love you, Roxanne. I love Darian. I love our babies. I'm thankful for my life, like I was saying. And if today Justin's going around being like, oh, I could have, I would have, I should have. He had 3 times to would have, could have, should have. He had 3 times in person to act on his fucking threats. I was there from 10 p.m. till 10:30. So I won that entire fucking thing. Now, if we see each other in person again, like I said, like odds are he's going to start training again. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I called him out since like Monday, and like he knows that I fucking called him out, and like I let his friends know to let him know. I let him know, like I let everybody know. That's why his mom ended up showing up. Like, so Justin knew that I was calling him out. Justin knew where I'd be at 10 p.m. till 10:30, and he didn't show up, right? So it's like I fucking won. You know what I mean? Like as far as that goes, but like today maybe his ego's a little bit hurt or something like that is how I feel. You know what I mean? Like maybe his ego's a bit hurt today, and maybe he's kind of going around like, oh, I would have, I could have, I should have showed up, I should have. I mean, like maybe he's doing all that, and like part of me thinks so that like because he's like, oh, I'm trained. Like part of me thinks because I stood up for myself after he fucking threatened me. Part of me thinks that now he's training. You know what I mean? Now he's like, okay, I'm gonna train. I'm gonna fucking hurt him now. You know what I mean? But it's already too late. I stood up for myself 3 fucking times in person, and he's the one who bitched out every time because hey, like I fucking won every time. That's it. Like first time, shake my hand or hit me. Second time, get in the fucking ring because you're gonna fucking rat me out. Third time, his mom showed up. So like he must have ratted me out to his mom or something like that, which is scarier than the cops, man. You know what I mean? As far as that goes, like when somebody's mom shows up, But anyways, respect to his mother, respect to his brothers and his dad and all that stuff. Like respect to them, like respect to his babies and all that stuff. Like that's as far as that goes with the whole Justin situation. And like I honestly feel like he's training now. You know what I mean? Like I mean, so am I. But I honestly feel like because I punked him out like 3 fucking times in person already, and because I punked him out online both times he fucking threatened at me and shit like that. Like because of that shit, I honestly feel like it might not be over for him. Like it's over for me because I already fucking won. But it's like for him, I feel like okay, I'm like because Darren called me out here, I gotta make myself look a bit. I feel like he's going to start training again. Whereas before, I fucking did all of that shit and stood up for myself. He was mostly just getting drunk and all that shit. But anyways, like I said, I love my baby mothers. I love my womb donor Darian, and I love all of our babies. And I'm thankful for my life. And if anybody's like, "Oh, Justin, Justin, let you." He let me 3 times after he threatened me. I don't think so. So it's like right now, odds are he's training to be like, oh, when I see him in person again. But I was there, man. I was in person waiting for him, telling him to fucking show up or he's a little bitch forever, and he never showed up. So it's like, if anybody's like, oh, blah blah blah, it's like I already proved myself, man. I proved myself as a winner when this fucking bully threatened my life. He threatened to fucking harm me. I fucking deserve to live freely. I deserve to be as healthily as I want to be, and. The guy fucking threatened my life, so it's like, as far as that goes, like, I stood up to Justin. I did it, so I already won, like, I won 3 fucking times in person, and, like, he had his chance to get in the fucking ring. Like, he had his fucking chance to get in the ring and fight me legally, one-on-one, after he threatened to call authorities on me and rat. But, like, his mom showed up instead of him yesterday. I already fucking won, so it's like... Like, odds are, like I said, he's probably training now. Like, before, when he said, oh, I'm trained, he probably wasn't training as hard then. He's probably just doing a natural routine, and now he's probably amping it up a bit so that when we see each other in person on the street, wait until I see him on the street. That's the kind of guy that I think he is. Like, he's going to wait until I see him on the street. But it's like, like, I told him where I'd be at 10 p.m. till 10:30, and I was there, and I gave everybody proof, and I saw his fucking mother come instead of him. So... But I just needed to get that off my chest. I know this video has gone on long enough. That feud between Justin and I went on long enough, but it started with Justin threatening me. So fuck that. You know what I mean? So anyways, I won against Justin, my bully, and I'll write my book about it, and it'll be in more detail. But as far as that goes, though, like I said already, I'm thankful for my life. I love my baby mothers, Barbara, Roxanne, and Darian. And yesterday went really well. Like, it went my way yesterday. It went my way the second time we saw each other in person. But in between the second and the third time, I heard he was talking shit about me. So I was like, okay, fucking meet me here, you piece of shit. Like, I was a dick about it, right? I was a dick about it. Like, the way he called me names, like, I called him names and shit like that. I was a dick about it. I went to his level where he, like, threatened me, calling me retard and shit like that. I'm like, I called him retard and stuff like that because he called me that already. Like, I went to his level and called him a bunch of names, called him out, let everybody know that I'd be there On the Rocks from 10 p.m. till 10:30. I showed up alone, and Justin's mommy came instead of him. So I definitely won that Justin Osterback thing. So that's that. Anyways, write that down in the history books. That's what happened. God knows that's what happened. And Justin knows that's what happened. So I'm going to enjoy my Saturday, even though it's super rainy right now. And I hope that you enjoy your Saturday. Thank you for listening. Again, I love you, Barbara. I love you, Roxanne. I love that Darian chief. I love you, Drayton. I love you, Lavina. I love you, Cameron. In fact, I get my daughter Lavina on Tuesday, and I'm going to teach her some more footwork. That's what I'm going to teach her until she's 6 years old. I already taught her to shuffle. I'm going to teach her some other footwork, like the back shuffle, front forward, kind of stuff like that. Just different types of shuffling, different types of footwork, so that she stays in stance. And I'm going to teach her the southpaw stance, so that Anyways, you get it. Like, I'm training my daughter to become a UFC fighter one day. I know that sounds crazy, right? I know that sounds crazy, but like, I'm training my daughter Lavina to become a UFC fighter and a doctor. So I got more important things to worry about. As far as this Justin situation goes, though, it's over and done with. If he tries anything when we're in person the next time, then if he tries talking to me, I'm just gonna tell him to shut up. What I mean? But if he tries anything violent, then we'll just fight again or whatever. But I think that it's over. I'm at peace with the entire situation now. What I mean? Like, his mom showed up the 3rd time. Like, that's like the most bizarre thing. What I mean? It just makes me feel, it makes me feel like he was the bully that I expected him to be all along, that he was just a bully, But anyways, I keep going on and on about it because, like, I feel good for standing up for my bully and winning, but I also feel like it was unnecessary for him to threaten me. And, like, I don't like the fact that I had to be like, okay, then street violence it is, because he was the one who was like, street violence it is, what I mean, by threatening me and all that shit, but I told him to fucking get in the ring after he threatened to rat me out, right? Like, he fucking threatened to rat me out already. I guess he ratted me out to his mom, and then, that's what happened. I just kind of want to keep talking about it, but it's the same fucking points over and over. So I won, and yesterday, the highlights of yesterday was I got to see my cousin from Vancouver. She came out there, and like, she just happened to be at the bar at that time, which was totally awesome. Nice of her, because, like, she's one of my favorite cousins of all time. I love you, cuz, and it's great to see you. When you go back to BC, I'm gonna miss you, and my life's going really well. So thank you for listening. I hope you have a great Saturday. It's a little bit rainy. Take an umbrella with you, but yeah, life's going really good. I'm going to keep training my MMA. I'm going to keep training at my stand-up comedy. I'm going to write my stand-up comedy set and have that set ready in June when I do my show at Rumors Comedy Club. I'm going to write my new album by July, and I'm going to just keep doing it. You know, whatever, my freedom matters a lot to me. You know what I mean? I put my freedom on the line yesterday because, hey, this fucking bully was just a bully, and I've proven myself, and he was just a bully, and his mom showed up instead of him. So anyways, thank you for listening. This video has gone on long enough. Cheers, everybody. Take care. Respect.